create a new project, call it rendering, and click OK. So I'm just going to import out the 3 clips I've been using throughout the series. Bear, butterfly and lake. Import all of those. And I can select all of them as well. I can drag all of them to the timeline at once. So that's just a shortcut to add those files to your timeline. So I'm going to go to File, then Export, and then Media. And this is our export settings window. By default, I've got format as H.264. That's the format for MP4, and it's the standard nowadays. You can click on this one, Match Sequence Settings. By using that, your exported video or rendered video will match your source settings for your video. So on some occasions you may want to do that, but I'm just going to use H.264. You can select that from the list if you don't have that automatically. And preset, I'm using match source high bitrate. That's just the default. You can set the output name. If you hover your mouse over the output name, that'll give you the exact location where your export video will be produced. But you can change that. If I just save to my desktop, I'll just call it exported video and click on save. And a couple of tick boxes for exporting audio and video. We want to do both. And let's come down here now. This one's very important, where it says source range. So by default, it's selected sequence in out. That will only match the in and out marks on your sequence. We haven't seen that before. That's different to your in and out marks on your source monitor. Just to ensure we get everything we want, you change that sequence in out to entire sequence, because there's a chance that you might accidentally put in and out marks on your sequence accidentally, and you don't want to render the file, render video within those in and out marks. You actually want to render the entire sequence. So just select entire sequence, and you've got 2 options now. We'll look at these other things in the advanced video that's coming up next, but 2 options here, queue and export. Export will start rendering the video within Premiere Pro. So you won't be able to work on your project because Premiere Pro will be exporting it. So you can't do anything, so you might as well go and get a cup of tea or something. Queue uses a different way of rendering, and that's the Adobe Media Encoding. So we're going to click on Queue. Adobe Media Encoder launches, and in that window it will have our format on the left here, and the preset, and our output file. So to actually get Adobe Media Encoder to run, just click on that play button, and it will render while Premiere Pro is still running, and you can continue editing your project. So that's the big advantage of using Adobe Media Encoder. It just means you can render at the same time as you're continuing working.